Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Snake King Sports. I'm your host, Nicholas Snake King. Today, we're just going to go over my power rankings for the NFL right now. We're going into Week 13. We still have a Week 12 game to happen. That being the Steelers and Ravens has been postponed since Thursday to tomorrow at 3:40 p.m. So we're just going to go over my power rankings real fast. It is Tuesday. That's what I usually do. So let's get started. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, by the way. At number 10, I have the Rams. They're 7-4 now after a heartbreaking loss to the 49ers on a walk-off Robbie Gould field goal. The Rams fall out of control of the NFC West. Now, listen, the problem with the Rams is Jared Goff's turnovers. If he can limit his lack of ball security, the Rams may be a top 5 team in the NFL. And just because he lacks an ability to hold on the ball and make smart decisions sometimes, makes the Rams vulnerable. That's why they lost to the Niners. That's why games have been close with them that they should have won. Their defense is exceptional, but Goff just needs to limit the turnovers and their money. They're a real good team. They're dangerous. McVay's a very good coach. Their money if they limit the turnovers. At number 9, I have the Colts. They're 7-4 as well. Their defense is great. Their weak spot is their offense. Sometimes you just watch the Colts and you go, wow, they just look really, really good. And other times you watch them and you're like, wow, they look horrible. And they need to be more consistent on offense and more consistent. And they let it, yes, they let up a huge, monstrous game to Derrick Henry. That's on the defense. But usually it's the offense that's holding them back. The defense did have a horrible game on Sunday. We'll get to that later. But I mean, just the Colts, they need to be a more consistent team. They've had games where they've looked really bad. They've had games where they look real good. And they just need to be good overall. That being said, though, I would hate to face them in the playoffs just because of that nasty defense. And they're gritty. They're good. So I have them at number 9 right now. At number 8, I have the Bucks. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about a Brady MVP, a Bucks Super Bowl, and a prime opportunity to win the NFC South. Now we're talking about Brady being washed. In his last 4 games, Brady is 1 for 3 and has thrown 7 interceptions. Listen, he's just not playing well flat out. He looks horrible at times. That Rams loss, that overthrow, that was on him. That was on him. The Bucks are 2-4 against teams over 500 and 2-5 against teams 500 or above. That loss of the Bears. They're now 500 after that loss on Sunday night, which isn't getting the job done at all, especially with the roster that they have built, especially that offense with weapons like Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette as a nice duo halfback combo. You have the wide receiver trio of Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. You have tight ends of O.J. Howard and Gronk. I mean, they're a good team offensively. And defensively, they have playmakers as well, and they are 7-5. With that roster, they should be getting more done. All in all, they will make the playoffs or be a wild card team, it looks like at this point. They've been up and down all year, and it looks like it's starting to continuously go down for them a little bit. So, they have a great chance of them around. Arians is a good coach. I think he needs to, uh, you know, understand that Brady can't throw the ball down the field 40 yards anymore and start limiting the deep balls. Make it shorter passes. Make it easier on Brady. Give him better chances to win. They almost pulled that one out of Kansas City. But they just need to give Brady more plays that fit his style at this point in his career. At number 7, I have the Seattle Seahawks, who are 8-3. Listen, we all know about the offense. Russell Wilson, arguably the best QB, but easily top 3. Okay, easily top 3. Metcalf, who's now drawing comparisons to Megatron by major networks already. Do I think he's Megatron? Absolutely not. Do I think he's the best wide receiver out of that draft class? No. I think McLaurin's better. McLaurin has more receptions, more yards, more. McLaurin's a baller. He's had 5 different quarterbacks as well. He has a higher catch percentage. Metcalf has way more drops. I like McLaurin more right now. He doesn't get the same hype because, he's not on the Seahawks. He's not on a winning team. He's had 5 quarterbacks. But I do think Scary Terry is the better wide receiver right now if you really watch football and you really pay attention. However, Metcalf, by no shame, is a great receiver, a great young receiver, a lot of potential, a lot of promise, could be one of the greats. You never know. And you have Tyler Lockett, who's one of the most slept-on wide receivers in the NFL. We've seen him have big games this year, especially against the Cardinals, where he racked up 15 receptions and 200 yards and 3 touchdowns for one of the biggest fantasy games ever by a wide receiver. And it's one of the biggest games, and the biggest game we've seen all year by a wide receiver until this past Sunday, where Tyreek Hill absolutely obliterated the Buccaneers and ran for help on the Chiefs sideline. That being said, their defense, however, though much improved in the last 3 games, is still horrible overall. Uh, that is all that is holding them back, in my opinion. If they saw that Legion of Boom team a couple years ago, they'd be set. They'd be the number one team. They would look amazing. However, they're lacking defensive players outside of Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, Shaquille Griffin, KJ Wright. That's about it. All right. Other than that, they're just underperforming. I mean, they're just getting eaten up. They're making bad decisions. I mean, they're making bad jumps on zones, leaving wide receivers wide open. Not good. And if they want to win a Super Bowl, if they want to have a chance, they need to step up dramatically. I won't count them out by any means because they have Russ, and he's definitely dangerous. But I wouldn't put all my eggs in their basket. That's why I have him at number 7. Number 6, I have the Bills, who are 8-3. I have them above the Seahawks because they beat the Seahawks pretty handily a couple weeks back. Buffalo will likely win the AFC East this year for the first time since 1995. I'm honestly very disappointed in their defense, which I thought would be much better, but right now they're 17 in the league. I expected them to be top 5 at least, maybe even 1 or 2. However, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have some sort of connection. They're playing really well together, really making a nice quarterback to wide receiver combo. And Buffalo is a solid all-around football team, to be completely honest. Their roster is nice. And yes, they are really impressive at points. Sometimes not so much, but I think they're an impressive team. They're tough to beat. Do I think it's their year to win the Super Bowl? No, I don't. I don't think it's their year. I think they're too young. I think they need more help on new defense right now, honestly. I think they need a better running back, maybe another wide receiver target as well. Do I think it's coming? Yes. Yes, I do. Do they, they're going to make the playoffs. They'll have a chance. Titans, I have at number 5. They're 8-3. Yes, the Titans. I've been high on them all year. Okay, all year, and they went out and balled on Sunday, reclaiming the top spot in the AFC South. Derrick Henry is continuing to ball out. He's an absolute freak. He has 1,257 yards already, and had an absolutely monstrous game of 178 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against the Colts. I mean, he's the best running back in the NFL, no debate. He's unbelievable. Nobody can stop him. I mean, he's amazing. 11 games, already over 1,200 yards. I mean, that's unheard of. He could get 1,800 easily. Easily, he could get 1,800. They are a sneaky pick for a Super Bowl. I had them in the Super Bowl earlier this year. Them are the Chiefs against the Seahawks, could be a very likely matchup, considering the Saints' postseason woes in the Packers' defense. However, I'm really digging them. I mean, yes, their defense desperately needs help. A little bit of a tongue twister there. I try to form in my mind. And they just need to step up. I mean, they're letting up way too many yards, giving the other team way too many opportunities to score early, and taking way too long to settle in. However, I love what Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown are doing. And if they continue to play their football, Tennessee could have something brewing. They're a good team, and I love Derrick Henry. They can just control that time of possession, keep their defense off the field as much as possible. They got something. Number 4, I have the Packers, who are 8-3. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is hunting his third MVP, tossing for 3,100 yards and 33 touchdowns in 11 games. 11 of those coming at the hands of standout wide receiver Davante Adams, who's having a phenomenal career year. The only thing holding this team back is the horrendous run defense. Listen, their secondary is okay. Their cornerbacks, Jair Alexander and Kevin King, good corners. Okay, their front 7, absolutely atrocious, and that's no BS. They suck. Their front 7 is awful. I mean, they let up monstrous games repeatedly, and they just get beat up on both sides of the offense, on both lines. The offensive line isn't too great either. However, Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing, really making the Packers look a little bit stupid and goofy for drafting Jordan Love. No hate against him, but I mean, he's just having that ball out year. Their pass defense is, like I said, above average. But this Russian defense needs to step up in order to make this team Super Bowl worthy, in my opinion. At number 3, though, the team that is looking like the most complete in the NFC, I have the New Orleans Saints. They're 9-2. The Saints are rolling, even without Drew Brees in the past. Without Drew Brees in the past 2 seasons, the Saints are undefeated, 7-0. And Taysom Hill is balling right now. I mean, he's playing really well. He's taking my fantasy points away from Kamara because he's getting all them rushing touchdowns. But regardless, he's playing great. The defense is fifth statistically in the NFL, and they never fail to force turnovers, forcing 18 on the season. Yes, they just beat a Broncos team with no quarterback. By the way, hats off, okay, to Kendall Hinton, who stepped up a day in advance to play quarterback, a position he hadn't played since 2015, where he got benched at Wake Forest and had the data on the playbook. Hats off, okay? He was put in a position where he had no chance to win and went out there against a ferocious Saints defense and did all he could. Yes, it got blown out, but hats off to him. That took some guts, and I give my full respect to that kid. I mean, just hats off to him. The Saints, however, very good team, very good running back duo. Michael Thomas, obviously. Taysom Hill's playing well. They get Breeze back in Week 17 in the playoffs. They're going to win the South, it looks like. They have a 3-game comfortable lead. I mean, they're looking really good, trying to lock up that top spot in the NFC. They do not have the advantage over the Packers in a head-to-head matchup, so they're trying to stay 1 game ahead of them. However, I really like the Saints. Do I think their postseason woes may continue? Absolutely. But right again, you got to go with what you see, and they're playing like the best team in the NFC right now. Number 2, I have the Chiefs at 10-1. I mean, I think they're the best team in football right now. I mean, they have been tested repeatedly, and they've avenged their only loss. They have the number 2 and 3 leading receivers in football, them being Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Hill has 13 touchdowns as well, which is absolutely nuts. Had a monstrous game on Sunday against the Buccaneers. As well, the Chiefs are the 6th best statistical defense. And let's not forget, Patrick Mahomes is likely going to win his 2nd MVP. I mean, he's absolutely playing phenomenal, only tossing 2 interceptions on the season. Are you kidding me? This guy's insane. He's insane. He's the best quarterback in football. There's no debate anymore. You can't hold it back from it. He's insane. Absolute monster. All 500 mil that he has received is looking like it's so worth it because he is something special. He is something special in Kansas City. Unbelievable. Okay, the Chiefs are 10-1. I think they're the best team in football right now. But at number 1, you have to go with the undefeated team. The Steelers, they're 10-0. I mean, they are undefeated. What can I say? They haven't lost. They are the top dog right now. Yes, they've had an extremely easy schedule, and they will play a Baltimore Ravens team without their star QB, and 17 plus starters will be out as well. So they will be 11-0. Just a matter of time, though, in my opinion, until they get their first loss and until they have their absolute, just get punched in the mouth by a team. And that team could be the Chiefs. They could be 16-0 going into the playoffs, and that team could be the Chiefs, and they absolutely rock the living hell out of them. But right now, you got to put the Steelers at 1 because they are 10-0. That's all I have for you today. Those are my power rankings. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did like the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and ring that notification bell, and I'm out. Peace.